Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Focus ST video. So today I'm going to be installing a sound Symposer delete kit from, this one's from ACCELATEC. I know they have some from Steeda and other brands. I ordered this one off of CJ Pony Parts. It's $19.99 and after tax and shipping it worked out to just under 30 bucks. So I went with the plate with the hole in the center, so that's the boost port, and the point of that is so you can run a true vacuum if you want to. If we take a look in here, okay, so if we take a look, so this piece is to run some vacuum tubing. This goes up and then it comes out right here, so you can run the vacuum port, but I'm not going to be doing that in this video. I might do that in the future, I'm not sure yet. But for this one, we're just going to be using this plug. So this goes just in here, screwed all the way in, so it seals this hole off. And this also comes with the O-ring, so the O-ring sits flush in there. And it comes with a zip tie to zip tie a cable to keep it out of the shift linkages after the install is done, and then it comes with a cap for the tube that goes into the firewall of the Focus. It's the tube that runs the intake sound into the cabin. So all we need for this install is, they say a flathead screwdriver for like a tab or something, but I don't know if we need that, but just in case. And then we need a 8mm socket or wrench. So I have an 8mm here. And then the last thing we need is a T20 Torx bit. And that's it. So actually, before we start, I'm going to plug this hole just to start off with. So I just put it in there like this. So this just uses an Allen key. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten that in there. Okay, so that's like extremely tight. All right, so this is what it should look like after. Might as well just put the O-ring in now as well before we go get started. Does not want to go in. There we go. All right, so this whole entire piece is set up. All right, so now let's go get started. All right, first step is to pop off the engine cover. Okay, so now that we have the engine cover off, next thing to do is, so here's the sound Symposer right here. Just take this tube, plastic tube, and then just pull it out like that, just pops off. So you can see it runs here, all the way up here, and then into the firewall. So we're gonna have to reach back in here, and we need to pop it out of the firewall. All right, so I got it out. So here we go. All right, so then the next thing we need to do is remove this, and this. So there's 1, 2, 3, that's it. That's where the 8mm socket or wrench comes in. All right, so I have the 8mm socket here. Probably can just take it off by hand, yeah. All right, so we got that out. All right, got that one. Okay. So, sound Symposer is out. So there should be a tiny bit of oil in there. That's normal. All right, so the last thing to unscrew, well, first of all, just take this battery box off, battery cover off. And if you can see, right here is a T20 Torx. So we have the T20 Torx bit. We'll probably just do this by hand. Usually not on there that well. All right, got it out. Alright, so the last thing to do before we pull this piece out is there's a clip. If you can see it, I'm pointing right at it right there. We need to pop that off so we can pull this whole thing out. So I actually did need the flathead to unhook that. Just pressed down on the clip and it popped right off. So now we have to take this whole thing out. Alright, that's fine. Alright, got all of it out. And so everything's removed. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to cap the firewall entry into the cabin. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get a good angle for this, but it's pretty simple. You just put the cap on there and that's it. So there is the tube that the cap goes on, so just put the cap on and then that's it. Alright, so as you can see, the cap is now on. So before I put the block off plate on, that cable that we popped off, we need to use the zip tie that they gave us. If it didn't come with one, just use your own zip tie. And we need to zip tie this cable out of the way because it can fall down into the shift linkages, which is not good. So let's just zip tie it out of the way. So I need to figure out where I'm going to put it. Okay, so I got the zip tie down there, kind of where I wanted it. So if you take a look, I have it zip tied around that. I haven't pulled it tight yet, just wanted to show you guys. It's a bit of a hassle to get down there with one hand. Took me a couple minutes, but it's definitely manageable. So I'm going to pull this tight now, and then that should be a good spot. Alright, so on to the very last thing is putting the block off plate on. So just keep in mind, the O-ring goes up like this, like up in there, and then you use 2 of the original pieces of hardware and screw it back in. And that should be it. Alright, and then for the second piece, make sure it's pretty tight on there. Alright, so those are really tight now. Alright, so the delete kit is installed, everything's done. We have our block off plate in with the center hole blocked off. Just keep in mind that the center hole on this one is for running a true vacuum, so you can run some vacuum tubing like through up in here, cut this off and replace it with some caps to get that true vacuum. I'm not going to do that in this video, obviously. I might do that in the future. So yeah, the engine bay is definitely like less cluttered, so there's all this space here, and then all the way back up in there is our cap for the cabin, well, on the firewall to block off the noise that goes into the cabin. And the last thing we need to do is put the battery cover on and the engine cover on, and then that's it. Battery cover on. Engine cover back on. And that is it for the install. So do keep in mind that you should probably keep the sound Symposer and all the tubing and stuff, just in case you do need to put it back on for whatever reason. Maybe there's a problem with the install kit, maybe, I don't know. In case there's any issues, you should probably not throw this away. Instead, throw it in a box like I have in the rafters of my garage. I have a bunch of old Focus parts that I've taken off the car and whatnot. But yeah, so definitely keep that. I also have anecdotal evidence of people having, sorry, it's really windy out here today. I have anecdotal evidence of people saying that there was issues with passing smog in California. That's where I'm located. So so keep in mind, this doesn't change the emissions output of the car, but visually, if they do dig around and see that cable that's zip tied off, I mean, it's pretty hidden, but you know, I guess it depends on where you get the car smogged. I've heard from one person saying that they failed the visual inspection on smog, which is pretty stupid, but anyways, so I'm keeping all my stuff just in case that happens, but I don't have to get this car smogged for another 3 years, so this stuff will be in a box for a very long time. So just keep that in mind. That's just for California. Each state might be different, each country might be different, I don't know. Ask around. I will try to dig into that and get some more information on it to see if that is the actual truth. I'll keep you guys updated in that. I'm going to do a sound comparison test. I have some before clips of the Focus with the sound Symposer on doing specific pulls, and I'm going to try and mimic those pulls with the delete kit on there, and I'm going to see if there's any sound difference. I've heard that it reduces drone, even though my exhaust that I have on here doesn't really have that much drone, but it'll be interesting to see the sound difference before and after. So that'll be in the next video, and I will probably be releasing that really shortly. I haven't really released a video in 2.5 weeks now. It's almost coming up 3 weeks. Just been really busy, but yeah, so right after this video, maybe a day or so, I'll release the sound clip comparison, so you guys can look forward to that. But I appreciate everyone watching the video, and I hope you guys found the install useful, and I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya.